So you've now discovered that universities value intellect much more than they value anything else.
Absolutely.
Was that part of the reason that the sort of Marxist shackles started to fall away?
They started to fall away because I couldn't win the arguments. It took a long time after that before, I broke my whole misunderstanding of politics. But I was trying to argue a Marxist economy and a planned economy, and utter rubbish. And of course, I got nowhere. I got defeated. But I was getting defeated by Keynesians, who I later found out to be wrong as well.
As wrong as you are.
They were. Yeah. They were as wrong as I was. But it was tough in the right way. What had happened at school was we were given a history which was incredibly biased. We were given literature that didn't interest me and all this sort of stuff, and by people who weren't that adequate, to be honest. What I faced at university was people who were very clever. They could argue well. They knew a great deal because they're doing it all their lives, every day of their life. They've got nothing else to do, have they? And that was challenging, interesting, fascinating, and it's led me on to lifelong learning. I can't remember any of it anymore, but it ignited a passion.
Mm. Well, that's what universities are supposed to do, isn't it?
Exactly.
And so that's good.
If only they all did it.
So when you left university, did you join the fire service right away?
Not absolutely right away. I did a bit of teaching of industrial law to adults in peripheral bits of the university. It bored me stupid. Couldn't stand it. I am a very physical, practical kind of person, and in teaching of that kind anyway, what you're doing is repeating yourself day after day after day.
I've always thought that that's one of the things that with technology these days, why do we still have the same kind of modes of education as we did 50 years ago? I mean, it used to be that you would go to university and you would have a lecturer who would effectively deliver the same lecture year after year after year to a new class. Now, why does anybody want to do that? I mean, you now have access through YouTube or the internet to the very best minds, not in Oxford, but in the world. And why are people not using the online lectures effectively to educate themselves?
Absolutely. Universities can't survive in the form that they are. They're too expensive. They don't meet people's actual needs in life. As you say, all of the world's knowledge is instantly available to everybody who wants to find it.
You don't have to go to the library anymore and look it up. It's all there at your fingertips.
Yeah, and you find it precisely, don't you? You have an issue you want information about, and you go specifically to that issue. You don't read a stack of books where there's 90% other than what you need to know, and just the little bit that you want, which is lost among it.
Just while we're on that, and it just reminded me, one thing I was going to talk to you about, I would ask you about is, have you downloaded DeepSeek yet?
I haven't. I will.
I know you will. That's why I wondered if you got it yet. I've finally beaten you on something.
Yeah. Fascinating, the effect on the financial market.
Yes, exactly. I had a bit of money in the NASDAQ. It didn't go very well last week.
No, it wouldn't.
But it is a remarkable story. How true it is in terms of the amount of money that they spent to do it, I've no idea. But if it is true, it's like another move forward. It's like when the personal computer was first invented. That's the effect it's going to have.
Yeah.
Although I believe that if you ask it if Taiwan is a country, it doesn't do so well.
No. And if you want to know something about what happened in Tiananmen Square, you'll get nothing. Yes, it demonstrates that artificial intelligence is still human influenced and human manipulated, and it will continue to be. The algorithms carry all of the biases and prejudices of the people who write them. But when AI becomes truly self-learning and it moves beyond algorithms to forming its own associations wholly independently, then something very dramatic is going to happen.
I mean, my understanding of is that the way that they managed to do it so cheaply is that they have a main hub, which is the one which uses all the power and the energy to do it, and then they have peripheral hubs who all are trained by the main hub. So it's almost like a training exercise going out the way. Is that your understanding?
I think that's what I understand as well. I'm sure we're not being told the truth or the whole truth about how the development happened, and I suspect it's more expensive and more complicated than is being suggested. But that does seem to be the model, and it seems to be right, and it's sort of how the brain works, that it holds memories and information, knowledge and opinions, all in different parts of the brain, and it draws from them. Different.
It's remarkable.